Of 6, 7 years, 8, 9 years, when they came back and told me what you had done is right, I think that was the kind of satisfaction you could have. So, like, I'll just tell you one of my experiences as far as our PMRY loan is concerned. Today we call it as PMEGB, but those days we call it as PMRY. And I think we were the first batch, because I had to go in a beer interview in Kohima. So there were a lot of candidates, this PMRY candidate. And what happened? I went inside the interview port. I attended that. They got so excited. We were just throwing questions and answers, and I was replying to so many things. We nearly spent about 45 minutes, just single person. Huh? And I was offered even tea. Just imagine, I was even offered tea. And after I came out, I thought, well, I think I'll be selected. And surely I was selected. But one thing was that, one thing I experienced was that I had submitted one project report, and that day I don't know what happened. I mean, once when I went inside this, I started talking about another project actually. I started talking about another project, and this interviewers, they were so engrossed in asking me questions that they never went back to the project which I had submitted. So after all the things was over, after I came out, our TIC, I think I should call him as our mentor also, as my mentor. I mean, one TIC, one Lotha. He called me up and said, Mukham, you have been selected, but you have to change your project report because whatever thing we had discussed on that day, the project report you had submitted is something, different. So see, what I would like to tell you is that, look, any entrepreneurs who really wanted to do something, no matter what it is, if you really wanted to do that, if you really wanted to get something else, you will surely get it. You will surely get it. So that's how. I mean, even if the project that was submitted is something different, I could get myself selected in this. And I think we had a training, and after that, I think I was one of the person who had recovered it, So I think I can always carry the fact that whatever loan I had taken, I had recovered it. But that was around 82,000 rupees. So that is how, we came about. In 2004, end of the 2004, I think that was a time when we used to have this internet, connection, dial-up connection, You dial up some number of and you will try to lock in there. You will not be able to do. You try so much, and even if you get you're locked in, it's so difficult for you, because it was so very slow. So I said, look, I think we need to do something on this. And I said we were also inviting companies from outside, because during that time I was the chairman of CII, Confederation of Indian Industries. So we were also talking with the companies from outside to come and make investment in the infrastructure, at least infrastructure of laying optical fiber. But no company was interested. So I said, I think this is my opportunity. I had not seen optical fiber at that time. Huh? I had not seen, but I had heard about optical fiber. I know what it can do with that optical fiber, but I had not seen that. But I said, nothing doing. We are going to invest in optical fiber. We will lay optical fiber. So we started laying optical fiber for nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years. I mean, early in the morning, I will be going with jumble, to the street, with all the parwas and with all the labor forces. We used to work like that. And then, especially in, for joining this optical fibers, you need splicing machine. And during that time, I could not afford. So I have to bring, people from Guwahati, and just to splice just one pair, they charge 500 rupees. So slowly, as the time went on, I also bought one splicing machine, because during that time, the splicing machine, we had to order it from Japan. So, we bought it, we started laying, and just imagine, the kind of effort that we had given. We had so much. Even during that time when we were doing that, we had faced a lot of problem, even with our so-called NBGs. I mean, they will come and tell us, disturb us, what you are doing, give us this. So all those things. But in spite of that, I said we should go ahead. And finally, as I had said, once we do this, by the time we finish this, there are companies who are going to come and make use of our infrastructure. And likely so, in 2006, our first customer was Aircel company. Aircel, they came, they used our fiber, they took it as a lease line. Airtel, they took. Data, they took. Reliance, they took. Even BSNL use our fiber as their return butt. And there are cases where we got it directly from the company also, and we got it indirectly, because I had tied up with Power Grid of India Limited, for giving the entire nth mile connectivity in Nagaland. So whatever customer comes to Power Grid, they will hand it over to me, and then we will serve them. So that is how we had been working out. So just imagine a person who had the kind of risk that the entrepreneur takes, even without saying it. We start just imagine if that business would not have kicked off, where I would have been today. So we take that kind of a risk. That was also not a calculated risk, because whatever money you were getting, you were just pumping it over there. Supposing if something would have gone wrong, that would have been something, terrible. But I also had believed in God. I think, there was a future technology. So we started investing, and then that is how we had it. Today, just because we had our infrastructure been laid, I said we will start off an ISP. So we got our ISP licenses, we got our IB licenses, and we started giving services. And you know what? We started off with what we call 1E1. And 1E1 is nothing but it is 2 Mbps. Okay? 2 Mbps. And today, we just give 100 Mbps, 200 Mbps, whatever bandwidth you needed, we can give it to them. There are individuals who are using that one. But we started our business with 1E1. Just imagine. So we started very small, and that's how we needed to escalate it up. And today, I think we are there strong, just because I had been sharing with my guys that this is a service business. We cannot compromise with our services. The moment we compromise with this, we are out of the market. Let us not be afraid of anybody else, any competitors. They can be a multinational company, they can be a big company, whatever company it is. Don't worry about that. The only thing which you need to worry about is our service. And we are there today just because of our service and nothing else. Particularly today, when I see those past days, I'm still delighted that I'm here today. I'm still as active as it is, because I know, like I cannot take relief from that, because if I don't do, you feel very awkward. You needed to be working very hard on a daily basis. There are people who comes and tell me, you are lucky. Sometimes there are people who comes and tell me, you are lucky. I said, yes, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. But you should come in the morning. You come at 6 o'clock in the morning, or you come even at 8 o'clock in the evening, you will see what I'm doing. See? We are lucky. But we are meant to be lucky once when we start working very hard. And that is what we had been doing. That is the part of my story. Today, I just would like to, give some challenges. especially for those people who are there in the garment service, because you have asked me to give me my experiences, and I'm giving you my experiences to see to it that I don't know whether you will leave your job and come back and start the entrepreneurship on your own. I would like to give challenges even to our upcoming entrepreneurs. See, our people, my experiences in all this more than 2 decades, I had observed that our people are not hardworking. The problem, what is bugging us in our society today, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? What is the problem that the youths are facing today? It's unemployment. There are so many other problems that we have, but one is unemployment, and this is one thing which we are facing. And why is it? Why is it so? It's all because our youths, our people doesn't want to work. Of course, here, whoever are here, you all are very hardworking. I know that, but there are most of the youths, most of the people, they are not hardworking. They don't want to work. They are lazy. There are things that needs to be done, but they just let the time pass off doing nothing else. And forgetting that, it's my life. Forgetting that I need to stand on my own. Forgetting that I should be making my own career. And all these things can happen only once when you start working. But just because of that, just because we don't want to work, these problems are there. Most of the guys just want to join garment service, just wanted to be there in the top, right? Just want to be there in the top. They just wanted to be, just ordering. And you know that once when they join garment service, of course, they are very, very hardworking, garment officials. But many people just wanted to join that because they think that they can skip their work, they can skip anything else, but still then their job has been secure. They know that even if they don't work, even if they don't do, at the end of the month, they know that the salary is coming in. This is one big problem. So, what we need to do on that under that circumstances? What is it that we are supposed to do? Today, when we talk about the services that we give, today when we talk about the unemployment that we have, it's too much. Today when you see Dimapur alone, we can see many friends from outside Nagaland that comes here and that they come here to work. The entire economies have been taken away out there. They will earn here, they will take it out there, they will earn here, they will take it out there. They come here to work, but why are our people finding it difficult to get work, to get that employment? I think that's a very serious thing which we needed to think about. As far as the commitment part is concerned, we certainly have to see to it that, until and unless we have that commitment to work, I think everything is just going elsewhere. We are not been able to do anything else on that. When we talk about employment, I would like to also say that we are not skilled. See, why are we not getting the employment? Because we are unemployable. We are unemployable. When we see that we have a very good demographic average, the demographic advantage of being our country, India, having 54% below 25 years. Okay? 54% below 25 years age. And what we tell is that from 15 years age to 59, this age is the working age. And we have about 62% in India. Okay? And it is expected that next 15, 20 years down the line, 15, 20 years, please mark my word, 15, 20 years down the line, it is expected that the other industrialized country is expected to decline that particular workforce by 4%. See, we have huge workforce. The other countries are expected to decline their workforce. No? Workforce do 100 para 4% do idu reduce koribole. Holibi mogan India re do hele mane we expect that there should be a proportionate growth of nearly about 32%. 32% in that particular workforce. But iman pishit haishe golibi, if these people are not skilled, what is going to happen? There's going to be unemployability. Please just tell me if just 5 minutes in advance. So, if they are not skilled, these people cannot be employed. Now, how do we compare ourselves? How do we compare our country with other countries who are industrialized? When we talk about a country like UK, they have about 68% skilled forces. You talk about US, they have about 52%. You talk about Germany, they have about 75%. You talk about Japan, they have about 80%. You talk about South Korea, they have about 96%. They have that skills. Even though India, Mogan 20, after 15, 20 years, Mogan the workforce bishi increase mogan skill all those things are hopeless. Nothing. Because we will not be able to compete our product with other country. We will not be able to compete our product with globally. Because our people are not skilled. And we have only around 5% employability skills who has got some trainings here and there. So I think this is an area where we need to concentrate. If you really want to bring about the change in the economy, I think our people, our youngsters needs to skill themselves. When we talk about entrepreneurship, I think, who drives the country? Who drives the country? I can say that it's the entrepreneurs who drives the country. See my shirt, see my band, see my shoe, see everything around here. Who did it? I think it's the entrepreneur who did it, right? These are the entrepreneur who drives the economy. Now, I will patriots. We talk about patriots. Patriot do na. We have two patriots. There's one patriot who give their life on the line. No? Who give their life on the line. There are another patriots who give their salary in the line. No? And who is this? Who gives the salary on the line? It's the entrepreneur. You will not imagine, no? If an opportunity has been given, there is about 80-90% of the people who will say, no, I'm going to work as a salaried person. Because it's quite secure. You don't have to worry. At the end of every month, your money is there. It's been there. So they don't have to worry. But there are remaining, 10-15% who said, well, it's challenging, it's difficult, but I would like to have this. I'd like to be an entrepreneur. And you know what? How they face, especially at night, in the evening, you go back home, you are sleeping in your bed, and then, things comes back. There are anxiety, there are stress, there are things, bills which you need to pay, there are things what you have to do, maybe the resources might be depleting. Maybe, there are businesses that has been done. Maybe, there are something which is going wrong out there. So all those things are coming in. But you know what? Why? Why do these people then stick with this? It is nothing else but it is only because of the tree. It's only because of a tree. And the dream to see to it that you don't live an average life. Okay? They wanted to have a life better than an average life. So with that one small dream, with that one small choice, they come back and say that, well, we have to do this. I would like to, tell you that my experiences as such in my company as well. I will not name any name. I will not name any person, but we are so, our parents, our elders, they wanted always us to, concentrate in government service. A person was working with us, they were getting about 40, 50K. And one day, they came and said that my parents are forcing me to join government service. And what is the kind of a salary I asked? He said about 16,000 rupees. But it seems that's more secured for them. So I said, they asked me, I will, let me work here also, and let me also work there, because hardly, in that government job, I'll have to go only for 1-2 days, attend the thing, and then come back. I said nothing to him. We have a company policy whereby you are here, you are going to be here 100%. If you are there, you need to be working there 100%. And ultimately, the person quit the job. It's not because that person wanted to quit, but it's because of the pressure of the parents that they have to make that kind of a decision. So I think we, of course, slowly the mindsets are being changed. The life that we have, I'm telling you, the life that we have is very important for us. Life seemingly will not wish to give success a space, especially for those people who are unprepared. Life will say, oh, he's not prepared. Taya, iku prepared na ito. He doesn't know what he's going to do. So why should I give success to him? Life says that. Life says that. Life says that I'm not going to give this to him, but I can give this to him. And that 2% differentiation is much. Life as such the design of life is such that, we are being designed not to get what we want or not to get what we need. See, very important. Na? Mukhang life design kurado, mukhang ki lagi asi ito dibo. Ito laga no. But the life has been designed. Life gives for those people who deserves it. And only for those people who deserves it. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I think just one life has been given to us. Whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a government servant, or whoever it is, I think just one life has been given to us. We need to make use of that. We need to see to it that productively we should be able to make use of that properly so that we can decide where we should be tomorrow. I just wanted to just make one small announcement here. Business Association of Nagas. We had been taking up some few works, and there is one very important thing that we are going to do. And what is that? The entrepreneurs, many of the Naga entrepreneurs, we are not very well versed with our financial literacy. So we had been planning, working it out with different institutions to visit all districts, and we are planning to first give financial literacies to all the the entrepreneurs. That is one. And many a times many entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs, who cannot even get 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, especially from the banks, because they are not accessible to the bank. We had also been working on that. We are working on a microfinancing, whereby there are people that are coming forward. We will help you, and that is what we had been seriously working on. So this is my experiences. not only as a businessman, but ultimately we reach a certain stage where we needed to give back to the society, especially again to the youngsters. So this is the plan which we have. Ban has been doing, has been working on that. We really needed your support in case if you have any entrepreneurs, known entrepreneurs. I think you can even encourage them, because we wanted to see to it that the only thing what can change our state, what can change our country is nothing else but the economic development. Our state needs that, our country needs that, and we all should be participating in developing that economy in our state. Thank you.
Thank you, LM Jamir, for your inspiring experience sharing. As we all know about him, he's also an active member of this band. And then, especially for a state like Nagaland, we need a person like him who will be leading our upcoming entrepreneurs. And then I would like to request participants also, like you can collect the points, whatever they are talking. And then at the end, we have question and answer session, and we'll have ample time to talk on that. So, yeah, please be ready with the questions and then get your doubts clear when we are all here. And then I would also request the speakers that we have given a time slot. And since, we will be giving you bonus time also, but then if you can maintain that, we will be grateful to you. Now I would like to call upon Sri Lanu Akam Imchen, the proprietor of Coal Mountain.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the Industries Department for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. I'm also here to represent ISOGEM as a member. ISOGEM is an Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India, and it's soon planning to set up its office in Nagaland with an objective of working with various government agencies and departments on working on various projects and schemes, and also providing hand-holding support to entrepreneurs. So that's something that I wanted to highlight as well. Today I will be sharing our Coal Mountain journey, and through the sharing, there are some two things that I would like to emphasize. That's been one is being passionate about what we do, and then in that, working to find our purpose. I feel that if we are passionate about what we do and we find our purpose in doing what we are passionate about, then we can overcome any challenges and obstacles that comes our way. And that's been true for us. We've been in this field for now about 9 years, and it has been we've faced a lot of challenges and obstacles along the way. But what has helped us get through is being passionate about what we do. So on sharing my experience, I would like to emphasize more on these 2 points. So my journey started in 2013-14, right after my graduation. I started as a farmer, as an organic farmer. And in 2015-16, we started our first processing. It was hand processing of tea and herbs. And we started that with just 3,000 rupees because we did not have any capital to invest in the processing, and nobody believed in that idea. It was something that everybody thought that, I was crazy to even think about it. And as Sirs mentioned, I feel that the initiative that they're coming up with, providing micro loans, is a very good one, because when we started, once I went to the bank, to get 50,000 loan, and I was just shoot away from the door. So I feel that it's a very good initiative, and really looking forward to that. In 2015-16, when we started this processing, hand processing initiative, we had a vision. We wanted to, take our organic product to different parts of the world. That was one of our, dream. And we also had this dream, a long-term plan of, starting or having our own processing unit by 2025. That was our plan when we started first. That by 2025, we would love to have a processing unit where we can help more farmers. With that, we started our initiative. Pre-pandemic, this is pre-pandemic, by God's grace, we were able to ship our organic product, Nagaland organic product, to around 13 countries around the world. That's been, fulfilling a part of our dream. We are definitely looking to reach more countries, reach more farmers, help more farmers, and also generate more employment through this initiative. In 2018, I was awarded the best organic farmer in India. And then in 2020, we were successful in setting up our first integrated processing unit here in Dimapur through the assistance of Mission Organic, which has a capacity of 6 metric tons a day of processing various fruits, herbs, spices, and tea as well. Now coming back to what I said in the initial about finding purpose. From the very beginning, our purpose was working to help our organic farmers and also, the conventional and small farmers and our youth. And what triggered this in us is when I first started as a farmer, I was an inexperienced farmer. I started like right after my graduation. I come from a commerce background, so farming was not my thing. So I traveled a lot to different part of India as well as different villages in Nagaland, covering various districts. I was looking for solutions and help from farmers so that I can get knowledge and implement that in our business as well. But what I saw was that the farmers had more problems than the solutions that we were looking for. It was in a very chaotic situation. Most farmers were actually, especially the tea farmers, they were giving up tea farming and then, chopping off their trees and then planting rice instead so that they can have something to eat. That was the situation when we entered the tea scenario. And another reason what really triggered us on giving a lot of importance on the youth is as I was traveling, I saw the real face of unemployment, youth unemployment, and I met a lot of people, struggling people, a lot of young people who were educated as well as unemployed, and then there were people who wanted to study but couldn't afford, and then getting into antisocial activities. And one event that really had a big impact on my life is when I met this young couple, 15, 16 years couple. The husband was 16 and the wife was 15. And they had a child. And they had come to work with us and they were sharing about, their life. And the husband said that they were thankful that they got the opportunity to work with us that day. And they said, Mukhando, kam paile do khawale pai, aro kam napadin do khawale napai. That was the thing that they told me. And back then I was very young. I was about 21, 22, and that really hit me hard. And since then, I decided that our vision will be about helping the farmers and then the youth. And since then, we have been working on that. But to begin with, when we first said we will help the farmers and we started our initiative, only one farmer came forward to work with us. Only one. In 2015, she was an old lady, an old Sema lady. Like, she was the only one who said, "Thik ase, we will work together." And we started working together with her. She was a very generous and kind lady, I would say. And that's how we started working with farmers. And by God's grace, as of today, we work with over thousands of farmers covering different districts of Nagaland. And we also work with farmers outside Nagaland as well. And when we started this initiative in 2017 about, training or imparting knowledge to the young people so that they will have the skills or the knowledge so that, when they pass out, they can look for something. Only one joined again. Only one part-timer joined. He was a college student. He was doing PSC. I think he was PSC second year at that time. Only one joined. So what we did was, we gave him all the informations that we could, potentially provide him about our visions, about our dreams, about the youth, what we are trying to do. And surprisingly, after a few weeks, 23 students followed him. So after that, we had about 24 students who were working with us as part-timers. And then the years following, we used to have about 50 to 60 part-timers, college students. These are college students who would come and work with us pre-pandemic. I got to a point where we had to rent a special place for them to work because we were getting too cramped up. We also, as of now, we also provide internship to potential and hardworking young people. By God's grace, we have been able to provide not just to the local, but also national. And as of now, we're also providing internship to international youth through the mentorship of a UN UNTAD program called Empretec. We're getting a mentorship through that. And through that mentorship, we are also providing internship to the young people, both local, national, and international as well. Just another experience, since it's about sharing experience. During the pandemic, when I said we started our processing unit in 2020, just after we started, after 1 month, there was the total lockdown. So for 18 months, our unit was like totally shut down. We couldn't run. We invested all our savings. We also took huge loan. We also got, yes, definitely, we also got grants and help from the ministry. But, we invested, I invested to the last penny that I had in my saving accounts as well. And the first few months, it was very challenging for me and also for the team because I really did not know what to do. The pressure from the farmers, the pressure from the banks, the pressure from, also, worrying about my team members, about, the employees. So what we did was, instead of just complaining or being locked up in a room and complaining, what we did was we started an initiative. I approached a lot of organizations, NGOs like Nagaland Organic Connect, Entrepreneurs Guild, and a lot of self-help groups and street vendors. And through that, what we did was we started an initiative to market fresh products, which we had never done before. But we said, we just cannot sit idly, so let's do this. And we started this initiative in a very small way. First, we started with a few vegetables and, few vegetables. It was just, chilies and squashes and this and that. And over time, it grew to a point where we were able to market and about 5 metric tons of vegetables and spices per day. We were doing home delivery to our people. And the reason why we started home delivery was we saw this problem of, the essential goods prices going up day by day. It was a struggle. And even to go and buy was a struggle because the first lockdown was very strict. And we decided that we will intervene in this and help, not just the farmer, but also our consumer as much as possible. We started free home delivery. And over time, like I said, we were delivering about 5 metric tons a day. And at the end of the initiative, when we look back, we had helped over 7,000 farmers here in Nagaland. And we also generated 60 extra employment full-time through this initiative. And we were able to generate another, hundreds of employment in the farm level. The caterers, the loadings, and all those included, we were able to generate over hundreds of employment in the farm level as well. So these are some of the activities that my team has been doing, who are really passionate about helping the farmers and then the young people. And I hope that even in the coming days, we will be hopefully and praying that we will be able to do more to help our people. With that, I think I will end my sharing here, just sharing a little bit of experience about my journey and also what we did during the pandemic. So yeah, with that, I end. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so much, Lanwa Kamimchin. In fact, your experiences are really very inspiring. And then both the experience sharing, it is really inspiring. It is really incredible in the context of Nagaland, because what I feel is, especially in a state like Nagaland, the entrepreneurs to come to certain stage, it is really very difficult. It really needs a determination and commitment, and both of you have shown so much. And I should say that both of you have now become not only at the national level, but then even international level. You have become the feeder of these multimillionaires corporate services. And I'm sure with your inspiration, many entrepreneurs will come up, and then this will take the state along with the rest of the country. Thank you. Now, I would like to call upon Sri Uday Pandit, the Liaison Officer, Coffee Board of India, to take time.
Respected Joint Director, Industries and Commerce, Deputy Director, Industries and Commerce, diocese on dignitaries on diocese, persons from different organizations, participants, and our dear media bandhu. Very, very warm good morning to all of you. And as you have listened our two of entrepreneur of Nagaland, so one thing I start with quote of the Richard Candylone, who is called father of entrepreneurship, told that entrepreneur are not born. Entrepreneur are not born but made. Everything happens in this earth and being done by somebody, man. And somewhere, if something is coming, that is the willpower and their hard work. So thank you, sir, for sharing your experience. And today, as I were told to share prospect in coffee, and it's good opportunity for me here, and so I will discuss step by step what are the possibilities, what are the challenges, what we can do for development of coffee in Nagaland, what we are doing actually. Before that, you must be aware of some of the few facts of world and our India, and then we will come to the Nagaland. So all of you know that world is changing very rapidly. Right now, time is of media, mass media, so everybody is aware about the information. So competition everywhere is increasing. If you have to sustain in the world market, you must be aware. You must be updated with the latest knowledge, latest technologies, and right time information. It is very important. And you also know earlier world was mostly, you can say, unipolar, America and Russia, and now the power is also being shared either in the trade or any other things. So now world is moving towards the multipolar world. So in this multipolar world, India has also many opportunities that we must take the advantage. And if we have to compete in the world market in any crops, and we have to be very strategic and must have a clear vision. So unless you don't have vision, you cannot go forward. Coffee is also a highly well traded crops, you all are aware, and it is 70% consumption is done by our developed countries. But its production is happening in developing countries, mostly around your equator area, that is our coffee region, and consumptions that is taking place above the equator region. So it's crop, you can say this is crop of the developing world, and developing world has advantage to grow the coffee and export in the world market. If you see, coffee is almost growing in 80 countries. In 80 countries, 50 countries are more significant in productions, and so for country like India, we have a huge export potential. And coffee is not a new crop to India. It has been started earlier during the British period, around 19th century. So since that time, we are growing coffee, and you might be aware about the history of the coffee also, that how the 7 seeds came to the Chandragiri Hill, Baba Budans, and from there, it expanded to almost, you can say, 4.6 lakh hectare area. Till now, current data is in 350 years, it has extended to India's 4.65 lakhs hectare. So you can see how robust it is. And so robust, our Nagaland people, it has an advantage, very much advantage, that I will tell you later. So some facts about Indian coffee scenario, that India is right now 7th largest producer, and it is approximately producing 3.4% of the world share in coffee, and 6th largest exporter, and with 4.6%. Area under coffee in India right now, earlier I told you, 4.6 lakh hectare, and holdings is about 3.92 lakhs, of which 99% are small holdings. So in coffee also, most of the growers are small and marginal farmers, although big farmers are also involved. But and production, as per the 2021 data, we have 3.3 lakhs metric tons. This is the recent data, and if you see the average national productivity of India, it is about 800 kg per hectare. And especially if you come to Nagaland, it is quite low. For Arabica, we have 90 kg per hectare, and for Avastar, somewhat more. And export potential, if you see the India export potential this year, 2021, 3.11 lakh metric tons, and we have generated a revenue of 5,452 crore. About, you can say, 2 million people employed directly or indirectly through the agriculture, either starting from your farm to fork. 2 million people means 20 lakh people are involved there. And if you see the production in India, that is our 70% of coffee is being produced in Karnataka alone. So mostly 3 districts of the Karnataka is producing that much of the coffee. And after that, Kerala about 20% and Tamil Nadu 5%, followed by our non-traditional area. These are called traditional area, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And non-traditional area, or your Odisha and Andhra area, that is recently introduced there. So they are about 3.4%. Now coming to our northeastern region, it is about 0.5%, you can see. It is about 0.5%, so still we are not even able to reach 1% for the whole Northeast. So still we have a lot of potential, and now I will discuss prospect in coffee, why we should grow coffee, what is the advantage of growing coffee. So first thing is that coffee has immense value for value additions. In coffee crop, you have a lot of possibility of value additions starting from your farm level. Means starting from your farmer, they can also do some value addition by making proper blocking, by making proper planting, because coffee taste differs. If your one block is intercropping is different, other blocks intercropping different, from there you can start your value additions. And it is up to the, finally to retailer level, up to that level you also can add the. So coffee has many faces, not only this what we are seeing there in the field, but it has many phases. And second thing, that I have seen in Nagaland and also in the northeast also, it is a viable alternative to the shifting cultivations. You can say most of the people are still growing paddy in the rural areas, and they are dependent on subsistence farming mostly. So if you are doing that things, and if you are compared with the coffee, it is much more profitable, I am telling you. Besides that, it also has high value plantation crop of the global significance. Other crops, though, it is not guaranteed that it will be exported or not, but at least your coffee is traded globally. It already, routes are channelized, things are settled. So once you come in the streamline, once our production system come in the streamline, then our distribution system will automatically absorb that things. But still our production is very less, so we have to do a lot of difficulty for marketing also. Third thing that is very important is changing consumption patterns. In India also, you can see everywhere coffee shops, coffee restaurant, everything is opening. Now our younger generation, they are more crazy of your coffee than tea. And demand among all the working population is increasing slowly. So if you are planting coffee, you are safe because future is bright. Third thing, that's is in Nagaland. I have seen last year. I have seen that data. Second highest unemployment in India, 21%. That is, our youth are highly unemployed. So it provides jobs for both your farmers also, your unskilled also, as well as skilled people also. But for that, you require the training. Anything, if you get a skill, you have to go through the training. Nowadays, people's disposable income is increasing. So people are right now investing on the consumption. So they can move easily towards the coffee. If coffee is there, coffee is available, they will demand, they will prefer the coffee things. Another thing that is very important with the coffee is it is ecologically viable, because our most of the coffee now in India, everywhere coffee is grown only under the shade. So it requires at least 50 to 60% shade. Means if you are planting the coffee, means you are saving your at least 50 to 60% your jungle tree, 50% your land area, and thus you can save your biodiversity also at local level, and you can manage it easily. Another thing that is very important is it is economically sustainable, I am telling you, because although gestation period is more, but once it is established, means it will give you the regular revenue for coming, in case of Arabica, 70 to 80 years. Once you plant the coffee, it will go for 70 to 80 years in case of Arabica. And it's every year bearing fruit, not like that alternate or anything. So once you plant the fruit, coffee tree, it will go up to 70 to 80 years. And in Robusta, though, even more than 100 years also, somewhere seen. So it will sustain our rural economy as well as our unemployed youth also, if they involve in the marketing, value addition, and other things. So every stage, starting from your farm to fork, there is a possibility of employment, revenue generations, and you can say that if you are doing intercropping, because coffee have another good thing that you can do intercropping also. Many crops you can grow with your coffee, like black pepper, jackfruit, areca nut, vanilla, large cardamom, many things, ginger you can also grow. Except few crops, you can take intercropping. So there is always potential for additional income also. Besides the coffee, you can grow other crop also. So it is not disturbing you. And third thing that is very important, all the world is moving towards organic. So by default, our Naga coffee is natural and grown under the organic condition. Still, I have visited almost all the districts of the Nagaland. They are not using any chemical fertilizer. So especially for coffee, I have not seen. Other crops, so I cannot say. So a lot of potential for organic certifications. So now I will come to the challenges. What are the challenges that we are facing here with the coffee is the most important challenge for us is long gestation period. Because once we say the farmers you have to grow the coffee, then they think that immediately we will get something. But this is not like that. Once you plant the coffee means after 5 years you will get something, but your gestation, your economic yield comes after 10 to 12 years. So this long gestation period you have to bet. And in this period farmers become frustrated. They are searching here and there how I will survive for that. If I will plant the coffee, okay. But for 10 to 12 getting the fruit after 10 to 12 years is a problem. Second, another thing that they don't have also technical know-how, and technical know-how is very less because they somewhere that is very new. They are just planting by their own wish. And although we have given a lot of demonstration, we are going, we are changing. Situation right now changing, but still technical know-how is very less. And farmers are also what you call fear about the marketing facility everywhere because our most of the farms are scattered. You will find that it is somewhere in the Long Lane, somewhere in the Mon. In that you from the main road you can go even the 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So here is a scattered land farm system in your Nagaland. No? So in Nagaland, getting compact area is very difficult, and but we should try that. Farmer will do in the compact area and they will make a group. Third thing is the productivity, as I have already discussed. That is, our productivity is less. Whatever people are growing right now, they are putting a stage hedges, but productivity is less, about 90 kg per hectare. Almost 10 times is our national productivity. So it's also a challenge. They have to make the proper technical arrangement. They should learn the things from our expert scientists and our extension workers. And timely informations in the rural area, most of the farms in rural area only, so timely information they are not getting. So we are analyzing the things right now through WhatsApp and other, but still that is not that much effective. So we have some way forward also where there is hope. There is work, so we are working with hopes, and we can do stakeholder meet also because coffee has a lot of potential with intercropping. So if persons from different organizations like Varieties Institutes, KVK, Atma, if we all will work together, it is possible. It's possible to grow the coffee with high revenue generations, and another things that requires is marketing and promotion of the Nagaland coffee that our department along with the land resource that is working, and but it should be advertised more because still people are not aware that where we should give the coffee, how it will be marketed. So whenever we used to go to the field, still channel is there, but they told us I don't know. So in this area, I have seen that everywhere right now the land resource department has, in their department they are storing the coffee right now. It's a good step by the department. And we can do the community group based market infrastructure. If we have the community based on the, because our most of the land system based on the clan system. So if you are working in community in your clan's land, then it will be better, because if you have a small farms, then you cannot mechanize the things. But you have the larger farms, everything is well. You will get the economy of scale of that things. Besides that, regular training and updation of the farm with the latest technology is required here. And one more thing that many people fear, that if I will take the coffee. Now, coffee is beneficial. If you take in the moderate level, 2 to 3 cups daily, it will be beneficial for health. But so I will request the government to disseminate the information about the positive impact of the coffee and the health. And regarding machineries also, we are finding problems. So they can develop the custom hiring center where they can purchase the you called purchase the equipment for the time being, and they can use on the community basis also, and they can return that after that. Another thing that is very important is possibility of GI tagging, because everywhere you see GI tagging being done for the many commodities. So lastly also 5 years, coffee were 5 coffee types in the Karnataka that has got GI tagging. So our Nagaland coffee can also get, because we all are growing under the natural condition, organic condition. Our coffee is already best rated coffee in the world. That was told by many our cup tester. So we have the possibility of GI tagging also. And another thing, that possibility, we have massive eco certification. Eco certification we can easily get if we do the things in group. No? So for that also we are making some pilot project in Khar, and Khar. If that is successful, then we will expand it to the other areas. And involvement of the Land Resource Department of Nagaland, vision to expand the coffee for 50,000 hectares by 2030. It's a good step, and right now BEV is coming out from the whole Nagaland. So we are also cooperating them, and but this is the development phase actually. It will, once you develop the coffee, doesn't mean that it will always survive. After the development phase, you must take care of your support in the terms of your microcredit, financial help farmers require, because 10 years they will not wait. So persons from different financial situations, I will request that if some coffee farmers goes to your farms, please help them. And after that there will be sustenance phase. Once it is established, means sustenance is very important, because in 1980 already we have seen the failure, but right now things have changed. And so during that stage we will require the training in the post-harvest management, training in entrepreneurship development also. You can do the training in value addition also. So we can develop the entrepreneur also. Besides growing the coffee with the farmers, we have a lot of potential in coffee for entrepreneurship, because if you see the production stage is only 10%. If you are producing the coffee, you have brought the raw coffee to your farm, it is only 10%, and it is 90% is your after that. So in that 90%, a lot of knowledge, a lot of entrepreneurship is there. And third thing is involvement of the mass media will be very important, because it is, you can say it is almost a new crop, and with the new way we are starting, so we need to advertise the things that you consume the coffee locally. And lastly, I will conclude with that if you want a dynamic, diversified and sustainable economy in Nagaland, coffee cultivation will be a ensuring way with high export potentials. So if you want coffee to sustain, and if you want coffee to remain in Nagaland with high export potential, we have to cooperate our farmers at every level, because mostly they are rural peoples. When we are going to the farms, they have a lot of confusion, a lot of things that it will come, sir, yeah, it will not come, sir. After 10 years, if I will cut down the tree, then what will you benefit? No, things is changing right now in the whole world, and market is right now not a problem at all. You can contact with me also, you can contact with the Land Resource Department also, although we have stopped our marketing things, but we can always, anytime we can start the things. So in Nagaland, if we want our sustained economy, you can say coffee must be an ensuring crop. And thank you very much for your, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Uday Pandit, for highlighting about coffee, how to grow, and then how to, trade with these new products. In fact, coffee is going to be the next product in Nagaland after this Naga chili or pineapple, because it seems the Arabica type, this is one of the highest quality that is derived, and then the soil fertility of Nagaland, it matches well with this production. That is what we heard. So in future also, like we will be coming to you for your guidance. Thank you. Now we will have the next speaker, Mr. Pradeep Paita. He is from GRO Export Import Bank. And then before he takes his time, we would like to felicitate him. So sir, can you kindly accept the Okay, thank you. Now I would like to give the time to sir to take his time.
A very good morning to all of you. At the onset, I will convey my best wishes to all the young faces which I see in the audience. All the very best to all of you whosoever are entrepreneurs or are going to become entrepreneurs. Best of luck for your near future. So I am Pradeep Kumar Baita. I am Regional Head, Exim Bank of India. As Mr. Uday Pandit told, that this world is now entirely dependent upon information. And if you want to become successful in this world, then you have to keep yourself informed. So I know Exim Bank or India Exim Bank, most of you might not be aware what it does. Here I am to share the products and services which is being offered by Exim Bank, and any of the entrepreneurs whose business fits within the mandate of Exim Bank can avail the services of Exim Bank. It may happen that most of the product and services may not be applicable to you now because your business may be at a very nascent stage, but in future you can avail the services when you grow your own business. So Exim Bank was set up under an Act of Parliament in 1981. It is 100% owned by Government of India, and it is rated at par with the Government of India. So what is the implication of Exim Bank rating at par with Government of India is that whenever Exim Bank goes overseas to raise capital, they are the interest rate based on which we are able to raise the resources is basically on the rating of Exim Bank. So it is rated at par with the government. So whosoever investor is giving money to us, they consider Exim Bank as the Government of India. So this rating has a very important role to play. We have a policy role formation and also export projection selection under economic diplomacy. So we have our 10 domestic offices spread across India and 9 overseas offices. Our head office is in Mumbai, and we almost all the countries in this world, you can find that Exim Bank has given some or the other form of assistance to any company in almost all the parts of the world. So initially when in 1981 when India Exim Bank was set up, it was basically product-centric approach. But with the passage of time, with gaining experience and with the observations of all the stakeholders, we have changed our approach from product-centric approach, and now we have come to customer-centric approach. In customer-centric approach, it includes all the different types of services that are required by an exporter. So it is a comprehensive range of product and services at all stage of export business cycle. We have different types of products and services. Some of the products and services I would like to highlight. And as I told that any of your business fits within the mandate of Exim Bank, you can avail the services of Exim Bank now, if not now, in future also. So we give lines of credit, buyer's credit, project exports, term loans, working capital, export product development, export facilitation, overseas investment finance, R&D finance. So to touch upon the main product of Exim Bank, Lines of credit, most of you at some point of time would have read in newspaper or would have seen in news channels that government of India has extended line of credit to Bangladesh, for example. So this is a loan given by government of India to government of Bangladesh, but that is routed through Exim Bank. So when Exim Bank is giving the loan to government of Bangladesh, our loan is guaranteed by government of India. So this is G2G business. This is line of credit. We have project exports. Like earlier, the Indian contractors, they were not bidding for international tenders. They were not bidding in the tender process of other countries because they were aware that if they go for bidding and if they get selected for executing a contract in Bangladesh or in any other overseas countries, how they are going to execute it, they will be requiring huge amount of fund. So we have this product called Project Exports, under which it enables the Indian contractor to secure bid in other countries. So whatever the fund is required for the completion of the project in the other countries, we will study the viability of the project and we will help the Indian contractor. We have newly introduced one program called Ubharte Sitare. Ubharte Sitare, the name itself signifies it is rising stars. So those young entrepreneurs or companies whose product is very unique, but they are not able to find the export market because of some of the inconvenience in terms of raising fund or technology. So if those type of companies are there, we study the viability of those companies and we try to help them. Not necessarily be giving term loans, we also try to help them by putting equity investment in those companies. If required, we also give grant to those companies. So it is a permutation combination of all the three things. Either it is a loan, either it is equity investment or a grant for the success of the company. So this is a new product which has been launched. So any of you are interested in this program, you can get in touch with us. The other is overseas investment finance. So we generally, obviously, when you start as a budding enterprise, you generally focus on the local demand and then you go out of state and then at a national level. But at times when you grow up, then you think that now your market is overseas, outside. And for meeting the demand of the overseas market, you not necessarily be having the manufacturing facility in India. You may need the manufacturing facility in overseas. So for example, if you want to have a manufacturing unit in Bangladesh, so it is an overseas investment finance. So we have a finance program called Overseas Investment Finance, wherein through this program we can infuse equity in the company in which you will be procuring in overseas, that is in Bangladesh or any other country. That is overseas investment fund. It is a very special program, and I don't think that overseas equity investment is given by any other commercial banks or any other lenders. Other program, like all other banks have, we have export-oriented units. Under this, we are financing export-oriented units. Finance is extended not only to the companies in manufacturing sectors, but also the service sectors having foreign exchange earnings. Purpose of these financings includes modernization, upgradation, diversification programs of existing export-oriented units and for setting up of export-oriented units. Loan can be extended in Indian rupees as well as in dollars or any other foreign currency that may be available to Exim Bank at the time of your application. A minimum promoter margin is stipulated at 20%. Then we have production equipment finance. For example, if you need one equipment which needs to be imported from other countries to increase the capacity of your business, you can avail the services of Exim Bank under this program, that is Production Equipment Finance Program or Import Finance Program. Purpose of financing includes debottling and import of plant and machinery. Loan can be extended, as I told in my earlier product, it can be either in Indian rupees, dollar or any other international currencies that will be available with Exim Bank. A minimum promoter margin of 10% is generally stipulated. We have also one product called Research and Development. Under this program, any company who is in the field of research, because see, once an innovative, for bringing out an innovative product, you have to do a research. and during the research you might need be incurring revenue expenditure. So during that incubation period, to help you, to assist you, we can assist those type of company which is in the incubation period of a differentiated product by way of giving loan. And also we also cover the revenue expenditure, the expenditure, day-to-day expenditure which is required during the research of that particular product. So loan can be extended, as I told, Indian rupee, dollar loan, or any other currency loan. Repayment and tenure can be suitably structured, and export. So after the research and development is done and the final product has come out, it is expected that the export orientation of more than 20% has to be done from that product. Then we also have one group called Research and Analysis Group in our head office. This group generally research on different economies, different products that are prevalent in other countries as well as in different parts and as well as in different states. What are the potential that is available in the different states? So any entrepreneur who is willing to export its product in different countries, or who is willing to know the potential of a particular state, they may go through the research papers which is published on our web portal. You can go and easily access. So once again, as I told that in the very beginning, that nowadays information is the only thing that is that will have a important role in this present world. So all these research papers are available. You can go through it. Whatever the research paper that is applicable to your product, or whichever the country which is applicable for your product to be exported, you can understand the economies of those countries, you can understand the potential of the state, and you can work upon it. We have another product called Grassroots Initiative and Development, that is GRID. This is basically for creation of export capability in the grassroots enterprises. It helps in enhancing purchasing power of the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid. It is basically supporting the NGOs and self-help groups and helps in providing export linkages. It helps in poverty reduction through export linkages. Under this program, we carry out different workshops and training programs for the small, micro and grassroots enterprises engaged in handicraft or artisan products, including agri-based products. We have also called marketing advisory services. So marketing advisory services, basically under this scheme, many of the young entrepreneurs or many of very small help groups, they might be having some unique product, but they don't know how to sell their product in the international market. So under this program, that is marketing advisory services, we help those self-help groups or those small MSMEs companies to get linkage with the distributor overseas or the retail outlet chains in the overseas. So they can find the market not only from the local, but they can also go to the export in the overseas market. As I told that we have 9 overseas offices. So these offices also helps in finding suitable distributor or retail chains from where you can get orders and you can sell the products to the overseas countries. The other product is Exim Mitra. This is not a product, but this is a web portal. It is very much beneficial to the early, entrepreneurs or the exporters and importers. This web portal is basically designed to provide all type of information with respect to export and import. If you access this portal, as the name Exim Mitra suggests, that a friend of exporter and importer. So from this web portal, you will be able to understand what the product which you are going to export, what are the insurance that might be applicable to those products, what are the taxes, duties that may be applicable to the product which you are going to sell to the overseas market. Also, there are countries where they have put some products under negative list. So you might be having a product that name might be in the negative list. So you may not be able to sell that product to that particular country. So all lot of information are available on this web portal. You can access this web portal and you can have knowledge of what are the things applicable for exports with respect to your product, which are the countries where you can export, and all those things. So if any of your queries which you don't find any solution on the web portal, there is a separate place where you can put your query, and you, in a day or two, our head office team can revert back to the query if that query is not available on that portal. So this is all about Exim Bank. Once again, I wish all the very best to the existing entrepreneurs as well as the budding entrepreneurs. And whenever, if you think that your product, your business fits within the mandate of Exim Bank, you can surely approach us. We will help to guide you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep Baita. We will be looking forward to your assistance. And then when we talk about this development or trading, commerce, for any entrepreneur to come up, the bankers are always the most important one. And today, we have from the Exim and for our state, we have in Sri T.S. John Mongsang, the Chief Manager, Sales and Business Development, SBI Regional Business Office. We're so thankful to you for being here, and then even we would like to felicitate him. So if he can kindly come up. Okay. Now I would like to call upon our Chief Manager to take your time.
It's still not yet 12, so good morning to everyone. Respected Joint Director, Industries and Commerce, Lipongse Tongcher, and Deputy Director, Industries and Commerce, Hojeto K. Shuke, and to present on the dais our dignitaries here, and most important of all, I would say, the successful entrepreneurs already here and the aspiring entrepreneurs who are present here. My best wishes. And thank you, Industries and Commerce, for giving me this chance. Let me, I just came across one quotation by a famous person. Say, thank you to those who said no to you when you asked for help. Because of them, you had to do it yourself. There was something, and I think this relates totally to the entrepreneurs. And you have come up to this level because of you yourself, and you have to trust yourself. In fact, this week, Vanijya Utsav is celebrated all over India. This program started by the government of India to boost trade and exports. The main focus is trade and exports. And let me quote the tweet by PM Narendra Modi. Only those who have eaten the king chili will know how spicy it is. He said that when Nagaland exported king chili from Tening Parent district to London on 28/7/2021. This is one of the landmark achievement for us, for our state. In fact, when that export news came in the newspaper, we at the State Bank of India, we wanted to know if we have done something for that or not. We were involved in it or not. So we followed up with the SBI Tening to ask if the farmers were whom we had contributed, assisted or not. But we found that it was not. It was individually through that cooperation among the farmers. They had it was sourced by APEDA and it was exported. So we realized, bank realized We have to do more. And in fact, our bank has now come up that we have to be proactive in every aspect of our business, in farm to assist the farmers or to assist the business persons or entrepreneurs, whatever it is. In fact, I happened to go through one column. It was in 2018 by Mr. Nechuta Dulo, CEO Entrepreneur Associate, and in his column he attributed lack of bank finance is the sole reason behind the slow progress or almost a failure of entrepreneurship in India, in Nagaland, sorry. And just a little, an hour ago, we had heard from our special guests who had shared their experience. The very reason, lack of finance. And I would say bank has also did not play the right role during those days also. And still, you may feel the gap in there, but I would say now, at this point of time, bank has been proactive. To say that tanning, now we have already followed it up, and now we have identified 30 farmers who are growing chili, and now by this month, we will be granting them KCC for the farmers. That is now how we have to function as a bank to support our society. Likewise, we have recently conducted a cluster finance for beekeeping in Mima village, Jakama, for 27 beekeepers. And along that, we are focusing on this RSETI, Jaluki, that is Regional Self-Employment Training Institute run by SBI. And just few days ago, we had handed over this training completion certificate and in principle loan sanction to 28 trainees who have successfully completed piggery training. So this is how we are moving now. In fact, as I'm from SBI, I'm quoting our SBI thing, but then bank as a whole, as per Government of India instruction, we have various schemes for promotion and assistance to our farmers and entrepreneurs. And I would come to that, in fact. Our government is always promoting all these activities because the entrepreneurs, the farmers, these are basis of our economy, and our government is always coming up with so many yojana and schemes. So now, lack of finance should be not a problem of the bank, but we will blame you if you are not coming to us. We will blame the entrepreneurs if you are not coming to the banks. PMEGP scheme, I think this is not a new scheme. It has been since 15-20 years back. Mudra started from 2015-16, is available with every bank. KCC is almost like Independence Day, since that time it is there. Finance to SSG, under National Rural Livelihood Mission, bank has that scheme also. And Stand Up India in 2016-17, Stand Up India is already launched by Government of India with special focus to our scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and women entrepreneur. And today I would speak on these few schemes, I mean specially promoted by the government and is being given by the banks to the borrowers, eligible borrowers. Now when we talk about entrepreneurship, first of all, I have been in Nagaland for the last 3 years. In 2018 I have joined Kohima, and then I worked for 2 years in Kifre. I really, I'm in I really support the entrepreneurs. I always look up to our entrepreneurs because they are the one who promotes sustainable livelihood and gives employment and also contributes to the economy of the state. When I visited one village in Kifri, I found that in that village there were so many potatoes. So many potatoes were there in the village. I asked them, why don't you sell them off? They said, the government has given us, the department has given us that scheme, so we planted potatoes in all our field. Now the field is, as we know, in the hilly terrain, we have to go and collect the potatoes from the field, which is a challenge for them also when the the harvest was very, very good. Now no one was there to assist them to bring to the market. Now the potatoes are rotting in the field. They brought back whatever they could, but then they said more than what it is here, we have left at the field. So there lies another challenge. The logistic challenge comes into play. And then I was thinking, okay, if I could do something. So with the district, when there was a district consultative committee meeting, I just raised if we could come up with a cold storage. Because now I'm speaking of Kifri district, the same may apply with our other districts also. Cold storage, now all our hills we produce very good yield of vegetables, fruits, whatever. We can't consume that the district local people won't consume much. They want to export to other parts of our state. However, the challenge of retaining the fruits, vegetables in the shape and reaching up to the next market, it was a big challenge. So I put forward this topic of cold storage. As we discuss, now finance part, okay, I will try. It may take some time. If we start the project, I will take care of as a bank, as a branch manager, I said I will look into it. ADC was there, DC was there, and other members were there. Then finally, the meeting came inconclusive. Why? Now we were bogged down with who will manage the cold storage. That ownership, because machine will be there, no one is ready to take the responsibility of running and maintaining that cold storage. So it is the need of the hour. We have I would say we have a good natural resource that we, especially for our state, agri-based products, we are good. Now when we talk about finance, PMEGP, in 2 years, I think that Kifri district, we had sanctioned around 110 numbers of loan to beneficiaries, amounting up to 5 lakh. So we talk about business, entrepreneurship, livelihood. However, the challenge is always there. Like the commitment, the passion of the entrepreneurs also comes into play. Out of that, out of 100, I said, I remember only 2 persons who were successful. We would like to associate with successful people. In fact, when we give a loan and when that borrower gets success, we are also proud to associate our name. Like, yes, we were there behind him. So, and when he is successful, we want to give more. Because we have tasted the fruit of his success, we want to give more. So experience, that kind of information we need. When we find the right person, we don't fear financing, but the bank people are scared because of not able to decide who will be the right person and who will be the wrong. So that is the challenge. In fact, I would like to request our association, Business Association of Nagas, and other entrepreneurs association like wherever in Dimapur or other district to be the catalyst in bridging that gap for finance. Because when the associations comes and you are the right person who can identify who is the real entrepreneur. And when you advise us, okay, this is the one, he has the right talent and right qualities for an entrepreneur, that we wouldn't hesitate much, because when a second person supports that fellow, a kind of reference, so things is easier for us also. So I think that coordination has to be established among the bank as well as the government department as well as the associations, in business associations group. Then only things can turn out to be in the right track. In Mudra, we have under Mudra PMMY, that is from 50,000 to 10 lakh collateral free loan. The scheme introduced by our government, central government. Almost everything also comes under this loan. Like you go for piggery, goatery, horticulture, fishery, and your manufacturing or service or everything comes under this scheme. You can get a loan. There is even the paperwork are not much in this aspect. Okay, the limit is only up to 10 lakh. However, to begin with, if you are not going large scale initially, this is also a right scheme to start with. I will not go to the technical details. In fact, it will take time also, and it will be easier when you are ready. When you think you need a finance, kindly approach the bank. Have no fear. Because with you only we will do business only. When you come forward, okay, in such kind of a gathering, okay, we promote we say these are the schemes available, but sometimes you may face problems at the branches also due to communication get along. Our SBI offices and supermarket RBO Dimapur, anytime you can walk in and you can inquire about individually or as a group, you can inquire about what would be the best scheme so that your requirement is met for the financial part. And SSG is one best way of getting finance. And as our bank also is promoting SSG. In fact, with coordination with NSRLM department, so far this year we have already onboarded, linked those SSC to with credit 100 around 400-500 we have onboarded with credit linkage. In fact, we have 2,545 SSCs having account but without credit. So we are calling up, all the branches are calling them up to get the finance if they require. Because SSC also, they have so many different activities. Accordingly, if they require that, we are definitely ready. Personally, I was calling all the branch managers what are the real position of our SSC financing. Then I came to found, especially in this fake district side, since the government has already sanctioned revolving fund to many of the SSGs, those who are not really engaged in activities, they don't require fund. That is what the general feedback we got. But those who really are engaged in this handicrafts, food processing and all, in case if we are not able to reach them, you can refer them to any of our branches, because this is the priority which we are giving at this point of time to link all the SSC with credit facility. And today I would like to present this new scheme that is called Agri Infrastructure Fund. That is recently our government of India launched this fund, that scheme. Under this scheme, the focus is on like post-harvest infrastructure fund. I mean, equipments or machineries. If after post-harvest it is required for finance, this fund it will be very helpful. Starting from there is no minimum, there is no maximum amount. However, government will provide a subsidy of 3% scheme, 3% per annum subsidy to those loans under this scheme. Our primary target under this scheme is agriculture credit societies, marketing cooperative societies, farmer producer organization, SSGs, farmers, agri entrepreneur startups, and public-private partnerships. The purpose will include like supply chain services, warehouse, silos, packing houses, sorting and grading units, cold chain, primary processing center, and logistic facilities. The selection of the borrower will be based on the viability of the project, and margin of 10% by the borrower for the project cost. And security will be hypothecation of machinery equipment. And in case of loans above 10 lakhs, here there is a challenge of this mortgageability. If the amount goes above up to 1-2 crore, security of land is required. But then here in our state, the matter is under discussion with our at the state government level. Until then, like one silver lining is that our Dimapur Municipal Council area is mortgageable so far. So this property of the borrower or their near relatives can be considered for it. So most of the scheme I have just mentioned were of government scheme which is routed through the bank. So in fact, it all carries a portion of subsidies like 25% to 25 to 30 for this PMEGP, Mudra, no subsidy. Even there is a self-employment program under Duda. They also come up with self-employment schemes every year, which are routed through the bank. Fisheries, all the departments, that's why we need a license. If the governments, whatever schemes they have, if we are able to have with us, that still we have a special person who coordinates between the government and the bank. SLBC is there. So if from time to time, if we get the correct information, I think it would be easier for us also, so that we can pass on the benefit of the government subsidies and all to the rightful borrowers. So the success story of our entrepreneurs, I'm so glad to hear all those things. Like in the beginning, I also thought I dream of being an entrepreneur, but then I have to give up because 2010, I needed 30,000 capital. Like everyone's same problem, I could not find. And in the meantime, I got this exam cleared, so my dream has changed. So anyway, thank you so much, and I wish you all entrepreneurs that you are the basis of our state economy. We wish you all the best from side of SBI. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, John sir. Indeed, we need this type of guidance and assurances from you. And then the assurances that you will be available for the entrepreneurs is highly appreciated. Now, we have another resource person, Sri Masipizo Kejia. He is the chief in charge in the Department of Industries and Commerce
Nagaland. But before he takes his time, we would also like to felicitate him. So if he can kindly stand and accept. Now I would like to give time to Masipizo Keja.
A very good afternoon to all of you, respected chairpersons, dignitaries on the dais, and my dear fellow participants. So today, right now, I will be speaking and sharing on behalf of the Department of Industries and Commerce, Government of Nagaland. So Department of Industries and Commerce deals with various departments and organizations, and also the department is the nodal department for 7 to 8 ministries at the central level. So in the state, this is the department dealing with 7 to 8 departments as a nodal department, and there are among all these ministries. Today I would like to share about the Ministry of Food Processing Industries and its activities being implemented in the state, which is being implemented by the Department of Industries and Commerce. So first of all, I would like to mention about this food processing, which everyone is aware about, which everyone is known to, and which everyone is, many of us are willing to venture into this food processing. And also we can see a lot of food processing units coming up even in the state, in all the districts, especially here in Dimapur. There are lots of entrepreneurs who have started this food processing. And when I say food processing, everyone knows what is food processing, but just in the simplest form, I would like to define food processing as a method which is applied to a raw food produce to convert it into a different form by maintaining its quality, safety, and hygienic measures, and at the end it should be fit and suitable for human consumption. So this is about food processing definition. And also I also would like to share the status, a general status of how the food processing community are doing here in our state. So when it comes to the context of our state, like there are some few upcoming food processing units, entrepreneurs who are doing well and who are still trying to achieve better heights in terms of their standards, quality, their machinery and technology. But in general, what we are lagging mostly is in terms of capital, in terms of technology, in terms of skilled manpower. And therefore, even if we are coming up with food processing units scattered here and there in the state, like most of these are all in unorganized category. So these units still needs to be formalized. Why do we consider them, these kind of units, as unformalized or unorganized sector? Is because like the food processing shed which we are using is not standard, whereas most of the entrepreneurs will be processing their items. It could be pickle or some bakery snacks. They are processing it at home scale, and at home scale we are doing it at our kitchen or just some rooms available, empty space rooms available. We are utilizing those stuffs. So we also need to use a proper standard factory shed where we can do all the processing activities in a systematic manner. So we are still yet to formalize further, even in terms of our in terms of the working place also for food processing. Also, many of the food processors, they are now mandatorily like subjected to avail the FSSI license. So without this FSSI license, even in the local market, it is the products are restricted to be sold. So I'm sure you will be aware about this FSSI license, but there are still many who are unaware about these licenses, mandatory licenses, and also mandatory registrations like UDM registrations. So in order to formalize the unorganized food sector in the country, especially in all the states and in particular to our state, the Ministry of Food Processing Industries under the Atmanirbhar, which means self-reliance and self-sufficient. So has launched this PMFME scheme, Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises in all the states in the country. So it was launched during 2019. Now all the states, except some few states, are starting to implement this scheme, and for which even online applications are being invited. And therefore, taking the opportunity of this event of export, our department would also like to encourage the entrepreneurs, farmers, and even the FPOs, groups like FPOs, societies and cooperative societies to come and take up this course of venture in the line of food processing. So when we see the statistics of India in general, then there are almost, it is said that there are almost 24 lakhs of food processing units which are in the unorganized sector. And out of the total food processing units, 74% accounts in the unorganized sector, 74% in the food processing sector. And out of which 12% from the unorganized sector, 12% is the output and 27% is value addition. Whereas this 66% of these unorganized food processing sectors are based at rural areas, and 80% of the food processing units are family-based processing units. Also, out of the 74% food processing units, like 1/3 of the units are run by women. So that is also something very interesting. And then we also would like to encourage more women entrepreneurs to scale up their production, and then instead of 1/3 to achieve even more than that. So coming back to the PMFME scheme, I will just highlight briefly about the scheme. I'm sure you have all received a copy of this simple brochure which has been distributed to all of you yesterday. So if you don't have, you can collect it from the counter later on also. So under this PMFME scheme, there are different components of schemes, sub-schemes. So depending on the organization or type of unit, anyone can apply for this scheme. So existing and new enterprises will be supported under this scheme. However, this scheme adopts the approach of ODOP, which means ODOP, ODOP, which stands for one district, one product, which means that for every district, focus crop produce has been identified in the state. So likewise, in our state, we now have Noglak district, but before the Noglak district was officially announced, like the focus produce, ODOP has been identified. Therefore, say for ODOP for even for Noglak district and Tuensang will be same. So ODOP for Dimapur will be pineapple and pineapple products. Likewise, the rest of the districts like Mogokchung would be coffee, Peren would be king chili, and so on. This information it will be available in our website. So I will also mention the official website of PMFME in our state, which is pmfme.nagaland.gov.in. This is the official website for our state for this scheme. So in the website, all the necessary informations will be available. So the ODOP approach has been taken to reap the benefit of scale in terms of input, in terms of availing common services and marketing of products. So taking into consideration even the nomenclature of the scheme, which says micro food processing enterprises. So under this scheme, we cannot expect to avail assistance in huge sums to set up huge big factories or industries. However, the focus is given to micro enterprises, so that since there are lots of micro entrepreneurs, majority of our entrepreneurs have this lack of capital, and it is a big challenge for our entrepreneurs. And therefore, this scheme, I would say that this scheme is very suitable for our entrepreneurs and farmers to avail assistance. So the various components would be, the first one is individual micro food processing enterprises, setting up or expansion, upgradation of individual micro food processing enterprises. So for individuals, you can avail this scheme. So in case of, for fresh applicants, in case some individual entrepreneur wishes to set up a fresh food processing enterprise and you wish to apply for this scheme, then in that case, your proposed project, your proposed product should be related to the ODOP of your respective district. For example, if someone from Dimapur wishes to apply for a fresh unit here in Dimapur, then your proposal should be pineapple, which is the ODOP for Dimapur. So it could be pineapple products like canned pineapple, dehydrated and sliced pineapple, or canned pineapple, pineapple pulp, pineapple RTS juice or squash. So these are the options for you. If you have any other innovative ideas or options which you can produce out of pineapple, then that will also be acceptable. And in the case of existing units, for existing units, they can apply for the kind of products which they are already manufacturing now. It could be pickle or even some other products, but for existing, there is exemption for them to apply, provided there are some conditions also even for existing units in order to make them eligible. And then for individual enterprises, be it upgradation or for setting up of new unit, there will not be any submission of applications in hard copy, but you will have to submit it online. So through online, you will be, the individual will be registering his MIS, an account for his or her MIS portal, and only after that, once you obtain those login credentials, which will be which you will be receiving, you can log in into your MIS portal. From there, you can feed the details about your organization, about your proposal, and documents can also be uploaded. So for these district resource persons at the DICs and sub-DICs, they will be giving you assistance, hand-holding assistance to fill up all these features. So, and then next is support to FPOs, SSGs, cooperative. Even FPOs, cooperative and societies, SSGs, you can apply for this scheme, but for this category, for this group of category, there will be no online submission, but instead proposals in hard copy along with enclosed documents should be submitted to the concerned DICs, sub-DICs, for them to forward it to the directorate at Kohima. So this is the procedure. Seed capital money will also be provided to SSGs, for which our department is collaborating with NSRLM department. So NSRLM department will be recommending successful SSGs. So those successful SSGs who are eligible will be recommended to us, and accordingly funds will be disbursed to the SSGs for which they can utilize this seed capital funding, seed capital money up to a maximum of 40,000 and lesser, but 40,000 is the maximum limit. This can be used for procurement of small tools and equipments, and even they can use as a working capital. Also, there will be common infrastructures where some potential groups and individuals will be given assistance to set up common infrastructure at identified cluster areas later. So from this common infrastructure, the micro enterprises, they can use and avail the facilities, the bigger facilities which is not available with her or with them. Yeah. So common infrastructure will also have all the necessary facilities whichever the clusters in that identified zone will be requiring. So by paying some nominal rents, the clusters, farmers or entrepreneurs, they can utilize these facilities. By bringing their produce to the common infrastructure, they can process their food products up to, and then pack it, and then they can sell it at their own level or can give it to some higher agencies as well. Also, there will be support for branding and marketing. So for this, some potential players will be given assistance to set up equipments required for this marketing and branding purpose and also. And for this marketing and branding players will be supporting all our upcoming micro enterprises who will be assisted under the scheme. Not only under the scheme, even the other already existing food processors will be assisted in terms of finding markets through this marketing and branding support channel. And also, let me also share with you about the general funding pattern under this PMFME scheme. So this scheme is also similar to that of PMEGP scheme, whereas the subsidy component, this will not be grants, but in terms of subsidy, it will be given to the selected beneficiaries. So the subsidy component is 35%, and then bank loan, the next would be the promoter's contribution, own share contribution, which will be 10%. Minimum 10% should be retained. It should not be below 10% for promoters to contribute. And the rest can be bank term loan. And majority of us, we all have been hearing the issues of getting loans also. Even if the project has been approved, there are problems and issues of getting bank loans. It is not easy and simple like we think to get bank loan easily, but under the scheme, there is a convergence framework where loans can be availed through PM Mudra schemes, Stand Up India, and even CGT MSC collateral guarantee trust schemes and all. CGT MSC scheme support and all. Through these schemes and programs, we can avail bank loans as well. Over and above, the Ministry of Food Processing Industries this year, they have signed MOU with 12 lending banks. So in the MOU, the lending banks, they have agreed to finance and give loan to our selected beneficiaries. So that is the agreement which the Ministry of Food Processing has signed with the 12 MOUs. So 12 different lending banks. So 12 different lending banks, all these details will also be available in the website. So for instance, SBI is there, Axis, UCO Bank, and so on. Many other banks are there. So we will be taking advantage of all these facilities provided by the central government. So this is about the scheme, and also for your information, for any interested entrepreneurs or individuals who would like to avail this financial assistance under the scheme. So you can approach the nearest DIC or sub-DICs in your respective districts. So in the DICs, the department has appointed district resource persons. In short, I will call DRP. So you can meet the DRPs at respective DICs and sub-DICs also, if you are unable to come to the directorate. So you can take their assistance, and then they will assist and handhold you in preparation of your documents, collection of your documents, even in filing your applications in the MIS portal. In case if you do not know how to register an account in the MIS portal, you can take the service of our district resource persons. They will be helping you. Even for there is no particular guidelines, especially for individual units, but all the requirements and necessary details are provided in the MIS portal. So you can let the DRP assist you and then fill up all the details, which will contain all your details, personal details, your proposals about the program, and even financial parameters details will be required. So our DRPs will be assisting the applicants also. So once the applicant is completely fulfills his application and submits it, the rest the department will take care for the selection and all. Yeah. So this is something about the PMFME scheme, and I request all of you who are interested to check even the website. So in the website you will find different scheme guidelines, informations about the schemes and all. So even for if you have any doubts or query, you can approach the DICs or sub-DICs or even the directorate, or you can send a mail to us also. Our mail details, everything is uploaded in the website. So thank you for the timing, and then wish you all the best in the days to come. Thank you.
Food processing sector is a trust area for the state. Our resource persons has shared different schemes, assistance available for the food processing sector. Kindly take advantage of it. In the Directorate of Industries Commerce, we have a separate establishment set up to assist the food processing sector. If any one of you have any doubts or need for assistance, as also highlighted by the resource person, you are always welcome to approach us. Well, I believe we have had an interesting day of available insights and informations given to us by our esteemed panel of resource persons. It was quite interesting to hear the experiences of our two prominent entrepreneurs, well-established entrepreneurs. The challenges that they had to face, but the motivation, the perseverance, the passion that they had to take up the challenge of entrepreneurship is inspiring. In addition, the vision that they have to also help our upcoming entrepreneurs from whatever position and level that they are in is really, really appreciable. When it comes to entrepreneurship, a YouTube video presentation that I came across a few months back actually comes to my mind. The video is about two fisher families living in the coastal areas. One family was rich, the other family was poor. Both were fishermen families. The video was titled, God, Why? Actually, this was the question that the poor fisherman was always asking God. Both of us families, we are both fishing the same fish, fishing from the same ocean. But why is that my neighbor is rich and I'm not? That was the question that the poor fisherman kept asking God. Well, the difference was, let me explain in the subsequent sequence. So God decided to make even the rich fisherman poor again. So the rich fisherman also became poor, and both of them were equal in this status. But the difference was, what the rich fisherman did was, although he became poor, he started to devote more in his work. He went for fishing every day, even on bad weathers. Whatever fish he got, he brought it back. Some portion he kept it for the family consumption. Major portion he sold it in the market. What the poor fisherman was doing was actually, he would fish at his leisure time when the weather was good. The fish that he got and brought, most of it, he would use it to consume. And for sale, he would keep only a little portion of it and sell it. So, over the course of another 4 or 5 years, the rich fisherman, because he was selling most of his catch, and he was going for fishing every day, even taking up the challenges of facing the bad weather, his investment in labor got the returns in terms of the capital that he required to make further investments in procurement of more boats, in hiring of more people, and subsequently, because of this, his business grew over the years and he became rich again. But the poor fisherman, his status remained the same. So here, actually, when it comes to entrepreneurship, the challenge is, are you willing? Are you ready? Save, invest. That is a mantra. You should have to be passionate. You should have to be willing to work hard. You should have the capability and the challenge to face the bad weather. So this actually has some correlationship, this video. That's why I wanted to share. We have heard from the official from the coffee port. It's quite pleasing and encouraging to hear that the coffee produced in our state is the best quality of the world coffee. And that gives us the added advantage for exports and for business. The challenge of the large or the long gestation period he has mentioned, but again, he also mentioned that coffee is amenable in the cropping. So in the cropping, once that is there, the issue of long gestation period that the farmers would face, that is resolved to a large extent. We have also heard from the official from the Exim Bank, various schemes, programs, loan assistance available with the bank. If you are interested in export as a business, please do approach the bank. We have heard from the lead bank official, SBI. Interesting to hear from him also his personal experiences that he has faced in his endeavor in the challenge to help out our people and our entrepreneurs. We look forward to the lead bank and their assistance in all the days to come. On the issue of the food processing sector, I have already highlighted the need. If at all arises, you're always welcome to approach our department being the nodal department. We have come to the end of today's program, but before we conclude, we have a question and answer session. If any of you has any doubts or clarifications that you have, you are requested to raise your hands and ask the same. Our panel of esteemed resource persons are here, ready, ever willing to answer your questions. So if any one of you has any doubts and issues that needs to be clarified, you may kindly raise your hands. Yes. Can somebody kindly pass the mic, please? Somebody kindly pass on the mic. Yes.
Hello. So I have a question addressed to Sir Uday Pandit, liaison officer to the Coffee Board of India. So my question would be mostly based on sustainable. I hope that is okay with that. Okay, so the thing is, we all know that southwest of Karnataka and Kerala produces around 80 to 90% of coffee production in all over for India. Now, there was this 2019 case that affected Kerala and southwest Karnataka as well, but I'll specify towards a particular district in Kerala, that is Wayanad district. I think it was, I believe, Puttulama village, I'm not sure. But so around 2019 August, there was a flood that actually affected 1/5 production of coffee production throughout India. Now the thing was that Wayanad district had coffee situated on the Wayanad district, Wayanad district around 1,230 to be specific above sea level at a mountain range of 290-meter high. So the coffee production out there, we all know that coffees have weak roots. So when it's grown on the soil, it actually does not strengthen the density of the soil. So when the flood happened, it actually caused, during the flood, it actually caused more deforestation, soil erosion. So we cannot completely attribute the blame solely to the coffee crops out there. But on the lower range, there was another cash crop, which was cardamom. So that further intensified the soil erosion out there. So such a case occurs because of the climate change. Of course, coffee as a cash crop is largely investing. It's really, truly, enriching for the GDP of our country. Now, introducing this to Nagaland. Of course, like our country has, monsoonic climatic condition, and along with the climatic change. My question was, introducing such a non-native species to our biodiversity, what are the measurements or the steps inculcated? Of course, like such a disastrous result might not occur in our condition like in Nagaland, but in case such a preventative action might be undertaken. So what would be the sustainably specified preventions that might be taken? Action plans, practically as well as research-oriented.
Ma'am, before the resource person takes the question, can I request you to also introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah. Yes. My name is Achit Longkumar from NIDC Dimapur.
Thank you. Sir?
Hello. Your question is genuine. We have their offices in Vienna also, no? So one unity there, and we also hear the same things. But this type of things, you cannot say that you have to prepare in advance, no? First, though, this is a new crop, and we are just developing the things, and it is not like that everywhere will happen the same thing. In few parts only that has happened. It has appeared. So that can be mitigated. You can make your harpoon tracing you can do there, and along with if you have, I think in Vienna there is a gentle slope. Yeah, slope is very high.
It's a coastal region, of course.
Coastal region, but slope. It depends on slope also, no? How much it is destroying. So if you have gentle slope, then I think it will not much. Coffee crop will not be much destroyed. But in our case in Nagaland, it will affect more. I understand. But soil management practices you have to follow. You can make harpoon tracing there. If you are thinking that this might happen, so you can make harpoon tracing there. It will so that your root will be less destroyed. No? You cannot stop the things, but you can mitigate the things. No? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions or clarifications from anybody? Kindly raise your hands if you have any. Well, we don't seem to have any. We have come to the conclusion of our program. Before we conclude, I would like to once again take this opportunity to thank all our source persons who have given their valuable time to come here, share their valuable knowledge with us, and contribute to the promotion of industry, enterprise, entrepreneurship here in our state. Thank you, sirs. I have an announcement to make. Lunch is ready. I would like to request everyone present here to kindly partake in the lunch before leaving. Thank you.
We are going.